I am so deeply sorry. My deepest condolences for saving me. I'm so sorry.
A tearful apology we hear from the wife of the man believed to have shot and killed 2 police officers. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Rundown. I'm Robin Winston. A candlelight vigil is planned for Saturday night for the 2 El Monte police officers killed in the line of duty. People have been dropping off flowers, candles, and cards at the El Monte Police Department in memory of 32-year-old Officer Joseph Santana and 42-year-old Corporal Michael Paredes. Corporal Paredes was a 22-year veteran of the El Monte Police Department. He's survived by his wife, son, and daughter. We're also hearing from the wife of the suspected gunman who was at the motel when the deadly shooting happened. Diana Flores says that she tried to warn officers that her husband was armed. She has this message for the families of the officers.
I am so deeply sorry. My deepest condolences for saving me. I'm so sorry. They didn't deserve that, or their families. They really didn't. They were trying to help me, and I told them before they went in the room, don't go in, he has a gun. And they still went in. I didn't want nobody to get hurt in this. The only one was getting hurt was me, and now 2 other innocents.
Our I-Team learned Justin Flores had a long criminal record. Law enforcement officials say it's likely that at least one of the officers who was killed probably knew him. Now to the pandemic, the number of COVID-positive patients in LA County has risen above 600. Health leaders say if hospitalization numbers continue to climb at this pace, LA County would move into the CDC's high virus activity category by the end of the month. The indoor mask wearing mandate would return if it remains high for 2 weeks. All right, are you ready for some relief from the heat? Meteorologist Belen De Leon breaks down the forecast as we head into Father's Day weekend.
We're checking in on the drought monitor across the state. The recent dry and hot weather has really dried out our fuels even more. And unfortunately, there's no rain in the forecast. This drought monitor is worsening. We have exceptional drought throughout Central California, and here in Southern California, we have severe to extreme drought conditions. Now, at least the temperatures are going to be cooler as we head into Father's Day weekend. We're going from 90s in Santa Clarita on Thursday to 80s on Friday and Saturday. Enjoy it, because the weather's going to heat back up again next week. Now, along with that cool down, we're also going to have some gusty winds develop in the mountains and in the deserts. We're also going to have those strong winds kick up along the coast on Saturday. Fire danger will be elevated, so please be safe with any fire sources and stay safe. Back to you.
We're hearing from the senior pastor at the Geneva Presbyterian Church in Laguna Woods. 1 month ago, a gunman opened fire inside the church, killing a doctor and injuring 5 others. Reverend Stephen Marsh showed us the reception hall where that shooting happened. Investigators say David Joe attended a church service on May 15th. Then he joined the group afterward in the social hall for a luncheon. Toward the end of that luncheon, Marsh says Joe started shooting. Dr. John Chang died a hero that day when he attempted to tackle the shooter.
If Dr. Chang had not done what he did, there would have been close to a massacre of everybody that was in this room.
The pastor told us his church is now working to forgive the shooter. He said that if they don't forgive, bitterness will take over. Opening statements got underway Wednesday in the trial of the man accused of murdering rapper Nipsey Hussle. He was shot and killed outside his Hyde Park clothing store back in 2019. A prosecutor told jurors that 32-year-old Eric Holder used 2 guns to shoot and kill Nipsey, whose real name is Ermias Ascadome. The prosecutor tried to paint the murder as planned, adding Holder just had a conversation with Nipsey about snitching shortly before he returned to the store to shoot him.
You're going to hear and see evidence that he had plenty of opportunity to think about what he was going to do before he did it and did.
One of Holder's defense attorneys acknowledges that Holder killed Nipsey, but argues it happened in, quote, the heat of passion. Well, this is not the news a lot of parents want to hear. The largest manufacturer of baby formula has stopped production because of flooding from a powerful storm. Abbott Laboratories says their plant will remain shut down until water is cleared out and their facility is sanitized. Abbott says that this will delay production and distribution of new products for weeks. But the company also says it currently has an ample supply of products, including those in demand like hypoallergenic brands. Those are slowly making their way to store shelves across the country. The Fed made a big move to curb our country's soaring inflation. The benchmark interest rate is getting its biggest hike in nearly 3 decades. The chairman of the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, announced rates are rising by another 0.75%. The hope is by making borrowing more expensive, there will be less money in the system, and that will slow down the demand for homes, cars, and other goods and services.
We at the Fed understand the hardship that high inflation is causing. We have both the tools we need and the resolve that it will take to restore price stability on behalf of American families and businesses.
And there was strong reaction from investors. Stocks soared Wednesday afternoon. But what about the long run? Some CEOs are predicting a full-blown recession by next year. So what does this all mean for you? For starters, you can expect credit card interest payments to go up in the next couple of months. And if you're looking to buy a home or refinance, it will cost more. Let's start with credit cards. If you're carrying $5,000 in debt and pay about $250 a month on it, this increase could tack on about $60 to $80 in interest over the life of the balance. But there are ways to significantly lower your credit card debt. The best way would be to apply for a 0% balance transfer card. You might be able to transfer debt and get a promotional 0 interest rate. Experts also say you can call your credit card company and just simply ask for a lower rate. That works for about 70% of borrowers. When it comes to mortgage rates, they're up to about 6.28% this week. That's up from 5.55% last week. It wasn't too long ago, back in January, when the interest rate for most mortgages was around 3.25. Many companies are exploring new ways to get your food to you. If you order delivery in Hollywood or West Hollywood, you may soon have a robot dropping off your dinner. Yes, a robot. A pilot will guide the robot remotely from Serve Robotics World Headquarters. In recent weeks, the company partnered with Uber Eats to deliver food and other goods. This new technology is not only convenient, but it's also good for the environment.
They're zero emission. They're not snarling up traffic. And at the end of the day, it's a more sustainable delivery.
When the robot arrives, you'll get a code, and that code will then unlock the box. Customers are also able to identify their robot because each one has its own name. Beyonce fans, get into formation. The countdown is on for Queen Bee. She's back with new music. Yes, Tidal, the streaming service, teased that Beyonce's upcoming album is called Renaissance. They tweeted a cryptic post that reads, Act 1. It's Beyonce's first solo album since Lemonade. And if you pre-order the new album on Beyonce's website, it also comes with a t-shirt and booklet. Renaissance officially drops July 29th. Can't wait to hear it. There was a very special party in the park in Chatsworth. A beloved former high school baseball coach stepped up to the plate to celebrate his 100th birthday Wednesday. How awesome is that? Chuck Hatfield was honored at Mason Park in Chatsworth. His former school, Chatsworth High, celebrated by retiring the number he wore during his 60-plus year coaching career. Our own Fred Rogan caught up with Coach Hatfield during his party.
Thank you. I never realized I'd ever be here for 100 years, but I guess a man upstairs took care of me.
When you think about 100 years, what have you seen?
Beautiful people, baseball. It's been a wonderful 62 years of baseball and beautiful people. The parents, it's great. It's been a great 100 years.
Okay, you're 100 years old. What advice can you give? Because as you get older, you acquire more wisdom and you become wiser. What advice can you share with people as you turn 100 years old?
Stay single.
That is hilarious. Stay single and ready to mingle, right? A big congrats to Coach Hatfield on his huge milestone. Happy 100. You're a living legend. You can always get news and weather updates on the NBCLA app and on our website, NBCLA.com. And be sure to tune into Today in LA on NBC4 weekdays from 4 to 7 a.m. I'll be here helping you get around with the traffic reports throughout your morning commute. Stay single. I'll see you next time on The Rundown.